Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Mike, your physical therapist. Hey, today we've got a special guest for today. Yeah, he's not a guest; he's like a good friend of mine. His name is Dr. Javier Carlin. We're going to be talking about from burnout to breakthrough. We'll be back in a few seconds. Okay.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Premiumbeat.com.
What is going on, my Facebook friends? Well, guess what? Check out hellonote.com if you need the documentation system in your outpatient clinic. We have several outpatient clinics that we run and operate, and we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without the actual help of HelloNote. So check out hellonote.com. Use our code. Do I even have a code? Shout out. Let me ask CEO. I don't have a code, but check them out. hellonote.com. Okay. And then, of course, medbridgeeducation.com. I mean, they changed their website. Now it's called medbridge.com. But if you need discount, 40% discount, not 10, not 20, not 30, but 40%, check out medbridge.com. I use it for our staff. I use it for our clinic, or for me, for our home medication, home exercise program. Use the code alternative. Okay. All right. Well, today we've got a special guest. His name is Dr. Javier Carlin. I mean, we've hung out a long time ago, several years ago. When he was still, when we were still single. Hey, the single ladies, stuff like that. And he didn't have kids before. Yes, he's married now and everything like that. And we've hung out. He was still a physical therapist working for some of our good friends, but now he's transitioned. And he has this amazing program. He's this amazing energy, amazing aura in him. Of course, with him being a good-looking guy, but he's got this amazing aura. And those people, you get attracted to those type of people, not just physically, but their presence. In the Christian world, it's more like we call it the Holy Spirit or whatever you call it. But in this guy, there is this something, that winning attitude that we see in this guy, and now he's coaching people from burnout to breakthrough. And yes, he is a physical therapist. Now what he's doing is coaching people how to get out from burnout. And we see this all the time in our private group called Alternative Healthcare Career Group. There's a reason why the group is called Alternative Healthcare Career Group, because people are looking for alternative ways, first to make money, second to get out of their current situation. And then here he is. He's going to explain to us, how we can get out from burnout to breakthrough. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Dr. Javier Carlin.
What's going on, Mike? Thank you.
By the way,
Javi's good.
Javi,
Javi's good. I appreciate it.
Tell us again who you are, what you do, where you're from, man, and then tell us how we can get out from burnout to breakthrough, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Thank you so much for having me. It's always a blast reconnecting with you, and I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you having me in this community. And so, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing great. If you're tuning in live, just go ahead and say hello in the chat, so I know you're watching this. And if you're watching us on the replay, just go ahead and put replay, so I know that you did. So a little bit about me. My name's like Mike said, Dr. Javier Carlin. I am originally a physical therapist, and I was able to grow a physical therapy practice for several years, and transitioned into the online coaching space. So I've had my own career changes over the last 7-8 years, even after graduating as a physical therapist. And so as I went into the online coaching space, I started to experience a lot of the things that I was feeling as a physical therapist myself, as a rehab professional, over the last year or so. And so I more recently discovered some new strategies in working with the mind, and realizing that at the deepest possible level, the root of all the stuff that comes up for us, including burnout, happens because of what's going on in here. So I'm not sure about, about everyone here today, but as a physical therapist myself, one of the things that I notice in working with a lot of clients is that, you could give them the exactly what to do. You can give them the home exercise programs. You can, really provide the level of service that could really change their life, and people would just not do it, right? They either wouldn't show up, right? They would miss their appointments, they would cancel, they would ghost, like, you wouldn't hear from them again. They wouldn't take it seriously, they wouldn't do the things that you told them to do, and because of that, they wouldn't get the results that you knew that they could get if they followed what you told them to do. So I noticed that first in physical therapy, and then moving into the online space, I was like, oh, now I'm working with professionals. Surely, they'll do what I suggest, right? And sure enough, as you could imagine, a lot of the same barriers come up. Sometimes it's self-doubt. At times it's imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, right? Procrastination, overwhelm. All these things start to surface that hold people back from really getting what it is that they want, right? And so I finally came to the conclusion that there's something deeper going on here, and me just focusing on the strategy, the tactics, the how-to was not going to cut it, right? I had to go even deeper than that and really look at, okay, how do I extract it from the root so that there's lasting change? And so that's basically what we've transitioned into now, where I've started a company called Mind Haven that essentially helps career professionals and entrepreneurs to be able to really break through any mental blocks, release any of the emotional baggage that's holding them back from being who they really are meant to be. And so we help them supercharge an area of their life that makes everything else in life way easier and more effortless. And today I'm going to share with you some of those strategies, more specifically on how to overcome burnout, because that's really prevalent, especially as healthcare professionals, where we're so focused on helping other people, we forget to help ourselves.
That is so true, man. That's so true. I like what you said about, starting from here. You cannot change. It's easier to change. It's hard to change from the outside in. It's harder to change from the inside out. You can
Yes.
have all this lectures from your pastor, from your friend, from your mom, your parents, but if you yourself don't change your mindset, we call it the mindset or whatever you want to call it, it's going to be hard. Just like when you're having, children, I tell my kids all the time, motivation is just like bathing. You have to do it every day, or brushing your teeth, right? So,
Yeah.
let me ask you this, Javi.
Yeah,
What
please.
prompted you? You're a physical therapist. You were a very successful clinic director. I remember you were taking videos of you teaching all your staff. I'm actually, kind of mimicking you there. I remember those days. You
Yeah,
like share.
totally.
Oh, hey, this is how I
They're
teach
still
my
in here.
staff.
Yeah, they're still in this community. Yeah, I've seen them.
And then I'm doing it now to my staff.
Mm.
I'm doing this, hey, do this, do that. And what prompted you, man, from changing from being a clinical director or whatever you did before
Mm.
to coaching and counseling, or what prompted you? Is it also burnout?
Yeah, that's a good question. And so, I think there were quite a few things. Number one was I I feel like like most of us went into a profession that was kind of the only thing I could think of doing, right, at the time. And so it wasn't something that I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is what I'm super passionate about. This is what I see myself doing the rest of my life. And I think that that's kind of where it all started. And as I was going through school and becoming a physical therapist, I did enjoy it. I really did. But I think as I got further into the profession and actually helping the patients, I just felt like something was missing. I really did feel like something was missing. Obviously, for most of us here, the model is not the formal model of healthcare can be very exhausting. And I know firsthand what it feels like to feel burned out, stuck and really unsure of what direction to take in your career, because that was me before physical therapy. And then after I became a physical therapist, I was still kind of like, I feel like there's something else I should be doing. Like, how many of you have felt that before? Right. And so many professionals, like I did, hit this wall where everything feels like heavy, like your work isn't aligned with your values anymore. And so like many rehab professionals in this group, right? And if this resonates with you, if you're struggling with like similar issues of being like overworked, feeling underappreciated, and wondering if it's possible to have a meaningful career without also sacrificing your health and happiness, it is possible, right? And so what I've realized though is that it's not just the workload that is being put on us. A lot of it is the way that your unconscious beliefs and your thoughts can actually keep you in cycles of a lot of stress and inaction, which leads to you burning that midnight oil and really getting to a place of exhaustion. Right. And so a lot of people try and like push through like pure willpower. And you mentioned motivation earlier, right, Mike? With that motivation, the willpower, it's fine. And if we're at 100% willpower, you're only at 100% willpower when you wake up if you slept well. And for men, it's 7-8 hours. For women, it's 8 to 10. If you hydrate and if you eat healthy, right? And so if you have those things in place, then yes, you might be at 100% willpower. But I like to think of willpower kind of like a water bottle, right? As you make decisions throughout the day, you start to pour out a little bit of water. And then what ends up happening towards the end of the day, your water bottle is almost empty, right? And so willpower, as you go through your day, actually decreases. And, how many of you snooze, right? If you snooze sometimes, right? Put snooze in the chat and let me know how many times you snooze. Because the average person snoozes at least about three times every morning. And these are like 10-minute increments, right? And so if you add that up, that's like 6 days out of your year that you snooze, which is crazy, right? And so every single time you snooze, there's a micro decision that you're making that decreases your willpower. And so just by the first 30 minutes of your morning, you've already decreased your willpower significantly. And so what happens is, that's why, if you're like, let's say if you're trying to be healthier, it's typically a lot easier to eat healthy for like breakfast, lunch, and then dinner rolls around and you're like, ooh, I'm just going to have that extra snack or that extra dessert, that extra sweet, because the willpower has died down. And so what happens is when we start to reduce that on that willpower, we get to the last bit of it, our behaviors revert to our unconscious programming, our thoughts, our beliefs, and our values, and we revert back to just what we always do. And so a lot of it stems from the unconscious mind. I've actually got a few slides here. I'd be happy to share with you all so you can kind of visualize this a bit more, if that works.
Yeah, go ahead. I would like to learn because I snooze my alarm clock all the time. Instead of waking up at 5, I'm like waking up at 6:30, and
yeah,
I have like an hour or two to work. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm with you, right? I've been there. I've definitely been there. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. So it's there. Excellent. So essentially, overcoming burnout, right? These are some strategies to reclaim your health and find meaningful work. And at any time, Mike, if you have any questions or if you want to chime in, please do so. So what are some of the root causes of burnout, right? This is something that many people don't think about and consider, but if we really want to get this solved once and for all, we have to go to the root of it, right? So some root causes of career burnout includes values misalignment. So this is when your work no longer reflects what's important to you. There's like a deep internal conflict that drains your energy and motivation if your values aren't aligned. So many of you that are upset about corporate greed or productivity standards, there's something inside of you, a value of yours that is opposite of that that is more so wanting to really take care of the clients you work with. You want to spend time with them. You want to help them actually get the results, right? And so the values of the company and your values are misaligned, and that's why you feel like you're exhausted. You don't want to work there anymore. Your motivation wanes, right? That's a big one. So for example, feeling like you're prioritizing profits over quotas, or quotas over patient care, right? Also not having the autonomy over your schedule. That's an example of values misalignment. Does that make sense, everyone? Yeah, cool. So the next one is negative thoughts, your unconscious beliefs and false identities. So this is really when we think of an emotional baggage. So emotional baggage, I'll start with that one. Years of frustration that you've likely had in your career, pressures, emotional challenges that you've experienced can actually lead to a buildup of resentment, anxiety, and even guilt. And so this emotional baggage really weighs on you. If you think about it, let's say I'm going on a hike, right? I'm going on a hike, and let's say I've got my kiddo strapped on my back, right? I'm going on this 10-mile hike. Is he going to be heavier, right, on that 10-mile hike at the start or at the end of that hike? He's going to be heavier at the end of the hike, right? Why is that? Because the longer we hold on to things, the heavier it gets. And so years and years of anger, frustration, anxiety really begins to weigh on you. It becomes, it gets exhausting, right? And so those negative emotions make it harder to make clear decisions. So all of you that are wanting to go a different career path and you're not sure which way to go, it's because you have to let go of some of those negative emotions first so that you can clear your lens, right?
So true.
Yeah, 100%. And then we've got the thoughts, beliefs, and identity, right? Many of us have deeply ingrained beliefs like, I can't leave clinical work. This is the only path for me, or I'm not capable of doing something else. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm too this. I'm too that. And these thoughts operate quietly in the background, keeping us stuck, right? Sometimes you don't even recognize it. You're not even aware of it. And so those repetitive thoughts, of which we have all day, we have 60,000 thoughts a day, right? 60,000 thoughts a day. 75% of those thoughts are actually negative thoughts. And 95% of our thoughts daily are repeated. So 95% of your thoughts are repeated, right? Isn't that crazy? So what happens is when your mind is overloaded with these unresolved emotions, limiting beliefs, it's really easy to fall into decision paralysis, right? So you begin to have like clouded judgment, decision fatigue. You overthink every choice and feel mentally drained by the end of each day, which is why you kind of stay stuck in this pattern of not making that decision to finally move forward, right? Mike, what are your thoughts about this? Does this kind of feel like what you've sensed in people?
Yeah, I mean, especially the baggage, emotional baggage is very important. Just like marriage, right? You know, or getting into a new relationship, you're bringing this previous relationship information there, and then you're telling. And same thing when you're applying for a job. You just can't go back to quit the job that you're burnout, and you're applying for a new job, and you're like, hey, I quit that job because blah 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 blah. No, you have to at least not put your good foot forward, and the healing has to come from within first. But if you're applying for a job, you just can't badmouth the previous employer. And same thing, and that's what's happening now. Oh, I'm quitting because of this. I'm quitting because of that. All this stuff like that, and you just can't do that, especially if you're coming from healthcare and you're transitioning to, let's just say, to technology, and then you're telling bad stuff about healthcare, and you don't want to date that person, right?
Yeah.
And for example, me gonna be dating, hopefully my wife's not listening. For example, I was dating my wife, right? And then we broke up, and then had a new girlfriend. I don't want to tell to my new girlfriend or whatever. So that's the thing, the emotional baggage. It's very hard, and it's this is where you come in, Coach Javi. We're in how do we release this excess baggage? How do we change our mindset? Because it has to really come from within, not just from the brain, but also from the heart too. How does that work, man?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a really good question. And so to answer that for you, and I know I have this slide up here, and I didn't intend to share this, but really, we've all for those listening right now, has there been a moment in your life where you were angry and there was something you were angry about that you're no longer angry about? Right? Put a me in the chat if that's been you.
Probably
I think we've all had that experience. We were angry about something and then we weren't. So we all already know how to release negative emotions. Now, the problem is that from the ages of 0 to 7 years old, as kids, we're operating unconsciously. That's why for many of us, we can't remember. We don't have memories before the age of 7, right? From 0 to 7, we don't have, I personally don't have any memories until I look at photos and I'm like, oh, I kind of remember that, right? Mm-hmm. But most of us don't have those memories from 0 to 7. So there's a lot of stuff that happens between those ages with our parents, family members, friends, etc. Lots of emotions that happen the first time we experience anger, guilt, shame, fear, etc. happens between those ages. Consciously, we can't remember, but our unconscious mind does. So we really have to work with our unconscious mind to get to the root cause of the first time we felt that emotion, to release it. And it's like dominoes. Once you release the root cause, everything else starts to fall. And when you release those negative emotions around a specific area of your life, it's like you have like this heavy backpack that you've been running a marathon with, like with rocks in it, that you finally let go of. That's why we call it baggage, because it's like you're running with a backpack full of bricks and it weighs on you. And when you finally let go of the baggage, you feel lighter, right? Everything becomes easier. And so there's levels to it, right? And the cool thing is that there is a way out, because a lot of people feel like, oh, this is just the way I am. This is how I feel. And to your point, the problem with that, bad mouthing other, employers or whatever it might be, is that the problem, and some of you might, stop watching after this. The problem may not be them. You might have to look in the mirror, because you're literally bringing your baggage to every single job you go into. Now, yes, there might be values misalignment and all of these things, but you have to be clear on what your values are before you take that new job, so that you can finally have the success you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
So very important.
That's so true. That's what my wife keeps telling me. Look at the mirror. Look at the mirror. I would like to point out all the mistakes she's done and everything. It's like, well, look who's talking. And it's so true, man. Sometimes it's a matter of accepting that fact that sometimes it's not the other people who has the problem. Sometimes it's us.
Yeah.
And
it's not easy.
The common denominator.
Yeah.
Right. For the first time in my life, we're using math, right? Probably what is the common denominator? It could be you. And definitely it's me. So I'm thinking now, like, is it me who's the problem? So sometimes we have to look at that, man. So
for sure.
Correct.
No.
Okay. I don't want to take away your thunder. So go ahead and
no, man. No, it's so true. It's so true. And it's all of us, right? It's not me just talking to you all saying, hey, it might be you. It's me. It's, Mike realizes it. We got stuff to work on. And that's the only thing we can control. And so the good news is your mind is not stuck this way forever, right? By identifying and rewiring limiting beliefs, you can create new thought patterns that bring clarity and confidence. And so instead of thinking, I'll never find meaningful work, you learn to ask, what's possible for me if I open myself up to new opportunities, right? So changing your thinking is key. Now, here are some of the symptoms you might be experiencing, right? And as you see one of these that you resonate with, put a 1 in the chat for each one, right? How many of you have felt or currently feel overwhelmed? How many of you procrastinate? How many of you deal with self-doubt?
It's me.
Right? Perfectionism. Imposter syndrome, right? Check. Self-sabotage, people pleasing,
Check.
avoidance, indecisiveness, overthinking, right? These are all things that at some point, at some level, we all likely deal with. However, this is the thing. Many people look for solutions to these areas, but these aren't the actual problem. Those are the symptoms of the problem, right? And we're all in healthcare here, so we know the difference between treating the symptoms versus treating the problem. So the reality is, if we look at this iceberg, right? I want you to think of your life like this iceberg. Most people are aware of the presenting problem. These are the behaviors, the habits, the patterns that are creating the issues. Most people, so the symptoms are the presenting problems. This is the procrastination, the perfectionism, the self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, people pleasing. And so many people think, I need more strategy, I need more accountability. Here's the thing. It's the tip of the iceberg. It doesn't take you to the root. So what's underneath the iceberg that's causing the presenting problem, that's causing the symptom, right? So the first one is our thoughts. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 60,000 thoughts per day, up to 60,000 thoughts per day. 75% of those thoughts are negative. And the reason that is because our mind, our brain is programmed for survival first and foremost. So we're always looking for what's wrong instinctively, because back in the day, if we didn't look for what was wrong, we were going to get eaten, right? Now we have other things that cause us to have these negative thoughts. And so 95% of your thoughts are repetitive. So if you look at that, 95% of thoughts are repetitive, 75% of those thoughts are negative. And if you're not working on that, right, there's a problem there. And the crazy thing, that's not even the first place you should focus on, because there's even things beneath that. So beneath that are the belief systems. The limiting beliefs specifically, 95% of the beliefs you have right now were programmed in your mind between the ages of 0 to 7 years old. And and so unless you've done this work already, 60% or more of the beliefs you have limit you or hold you back in some way. They're limiting beliefs. That's a big portion of them. So the BS in your life may be caused by the belief systems. Not maybe, it is. And so the belief systems create the presenting problems as well, right? This is underneath the iceberg. Now, underneath the belief systems, we have our values and our identity. This is who we identify as, who we believe ourselves to be. Some of our identities are given to us, some we take on, and these can hold us back and cause negative thoughts and beliefs, right? What are some of those identities? I'm just a procrastinator. That's just who I am. Anything that you say, I am this, limits you. If you think of yourself as I am an OT, I am a PT, what you've done there, right, is in a very real way, you've put yourself in a box. Labels limit you. So all you think you are is a physical therapist. All you will see are opportunities to be a physical therapist, and that is all. And so you need to be very intentional about what you say about yourself and what your identity is, because it can limit you from seeing all the other opportunities in front of you. Now, anything that you think you are, I want you to remember this. You are more than that. Whatever you think you are more than that. Okay? So the identities that you tell yourself you are, like a common one, not in our industry, but people will get it. Like the person that says, I'm a struggling artist. Can we imagine why they're a struggling artist if all they say is, I'm a struggling artist, I'm a struggling artist? Are there artists out there that are extremely wealthy? There's like billionaires that pay millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars for art, right? And so the identity of this,
going back to therapy, we have patients like that. Ask them, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm old, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, there's power in your words. That's so true, man. I would like to harp on that too, since you got a 5-month-old kid,
Yeah.
In growing up in the Philippines, there's a lot of people who will just say bad things about you. Oh, you're a naughty kid or terrible
Mm.
too, or whatever. Same thing in the
Mm.
Philippines, in Asia, right? They even hit you in the head or pull your ear or whatever. But
Yeah.
but during my younger years, my mom would always declare some successful stuff on me. That you're going to be amazing. Of course, we don't
Mm.
see it yet, but that declaration there is so powerful that I know deep inside, going back to your slide, that there is a value and identity and the belief system that you're going to be successful in life. And that's what I've been putting in my kids too. And
Mm.
I know you got this kid. I mean, this is perfect for you, and of course for your young baby kid right now. The more you
Yeah.
declare it, I do this to my kids. I always tell them, hey, older sister, your next sister, your second sister will do better than you. So don't be jealous because she's going to be
Mm.
better than you. And the youngest one will do better than you and than me and everything. And you know what?
Wow.
Now I feel like now they do better than me. There's still some, one is in college and the other two in high school. And I think they're obviously now, I'm seeing it now, they're going to do way, way better than what I'm doing right now because
Wow.
that's the foundation there, the belief system and the values and the identity. So yeah, what's the very
That's so
bottom line there?
good. Yeah, that's so good. That's so good, Mike. I'm glad you brought that up because we want to look at like, would you talk to like your kids like you talk to yourself, right?
You know, I
It's
make a
like
mistake on that. I always shout at them, "Hey, you're so lazy!" So I gotta change. I'm gonna get the towel. Yo, stop
yeah.
being lazy. Maybe I stand up, you very good child. It's hard.
It's not easy. It's not,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're just being very intentional. So yeah, so the last one here is the emotional baggage that we touched on,
Mm,
right? If
it's
you're
deep. It's
constantly
deep, man.
It
That's
is.
deep.
It's the deepest. It's the deepest of it all, right? If you're constantly like self-sabotaging, I want you to think about it this way, right? It's kind of like I have this black bag here, right? I have this black bag, and it's kind of like if I put this black bag over my head, so I put my head in here, and I'm walking through life like this, right? I'm gonna be bumping into some things, and it's gonna hurt, right? So that emotional baggage is like having this black bag over your head and going through life. You can't see clearly. You can't see clearly. And so that's what emotional baggage does to you. It filters the way you see the world. It really holds you back and you bump into things and it doesn't feel good. Right? So how many of you self-sabotage? Right? That's a big reason why. That's a big reason why. So
Yeah.
the interesting part of all of this is that a lot of what's out there, a lot of the self-help mindset stuff, I don't even like to call this mindset stuff because
Hmm.
a lot of the stuff that's out there is very superficial. It's like, I'm not a gardener. Does anyone here garden? But I know if you have weeds, right? If you have weeds in your garden, a lot of the stuff that's out there is like taking a pair of kid scissors, going to the garden of your mind and cutting these weeds where the stem meets the soil. What's going to happen? The weeds are going to come back, right? And so a lot of that is because we're so focused on the conscious mind. The conscious mind is only 5%, right? These are the presenting problems. The unconscious mind is 95% of what runs your life. And we're not aware of it, right? And so what we want to do with what we're teaching here is it's like going to the garden, right? Going to the weeds and pulling them out of the root so that they never come back. And when you work with the unconscious mind, that's where you really go beneath the surface, underneath the iceberg, and actually work on the stuff that is holding you back, right? So that's the part of the mind that has the most control.
So how does one get that weed out of my brain or my mind, man? I mean,
That's a
the good
great.
weed.
That's the good. That's a great question, right? So
Mhm.
what is the antidote to burnout, right? To taking care of all of this? Well, the first thing, right, is that we have to understand that burnout thrives in confusion and overwhelm. It's exactly what this picture shows and what I was mentioning earlier about the emotional baggage with the bag over your head. It's kind of also like you wear glasses and your lens are fogged up. You can't see the path clearly, right? So what you want to begin to do is you want to begin to release the emotional baggage. You want to rewire your beliefs, rewire your mind, rewire your thoughts, right? Begin to reframe and rethink how you see the world, how you look at things. Because once you create a clear vision for your career and you've released all of that gunk and you identify your next steps, it becomes much easier to take consistent, meaningful action. And you can actually begin to see the world as it is, right? Like those glasses there, you can see clearly now. So what are the steps to get unstuck, right? Like I mentioned, step number one is you need to identify where you are now and what's actually holding you back. Literally come up with a list of all the beliefs that you have that are limiting beliefs that do not empower you, okay? You also want to take a look at your values. What are like your top, if we're talking career here, start listing out what are my top 10 values. Now, here's what's very interesting about values elicitation. Values can be in conflict with each other. What do you mean by that, Javi? What do you mean values can be in conflict with each other? If you have a value of freedom, right, and you also have a value of let's say making money or even security, right? If you think that having freedom is going to take away your safety and security, and then that if you have safety and security, you can't be free, they're in conflict with each other. This is when people take 3 steps forward and 10 steps back. They do this back and forth thing. So your values in themselves can be in conflict, right? So that is something that we have to actually realign and realign really, so that they are actually in alignment with each other. Also, yeah, it's crazy how it works, but it's a major part of it, and it goes way deeper.
I love what you said about that, about the 2 values. You have your own value, just like writing a goal in physical therapy. You have one goal for walking, and then the other goal for, let's just say, transfers, and let's just say transfers and goals. And same thing. What I like what you said about freedom and stability. You want freedom, quote unquote freedom, but you don't want to leave that current job or the current situation. And then what's happening is that you have that what you call the analysis paralysis. It's like a little dog sleeping or laying down on a nail, and they don't want to. It's not too painful to get up, but he's comfortable, just lazy to get out from that nail poking on it. So yeah. So
that's huge.
I'll stop talking.
No, you're good, Mike. You're good. No, I appreciate you adding to that. And then the emotions. If you ever overreact to a situation, there's baggage there. And here's the thing, right? Most of Western society, what do they do when emotions come up? Even growing up, especially, I would say, especially for men, they tell you, hey, stop crying, put your emotions away. Like, you're a man, be a man, right? Or it's frowned upon. And that actually makes it worse, because it's like a trash can that's overflowing with all these dirty bags in there, right? So
they won't even let us cry, man.
I know. Tell me about it.
That's why when I go to church, I go to church, man, I cry. It's like,
let it out.
No, I just cried there, So yeah.
1,000%. Step 2, like I mentioned, is really taking the time to understand your mind and how it works, right? You want to begin to rewire your mind so that you can match with and attract the career you truly want that's in alignment with who you really are. And then step number 3 is building a framework for making decisions without second guessing yourself. Here's the thing. A lot of people try and set goals, and they try to make decisions consciously. And if everything is not in alignment, your values, your beliefs, your emotions, the decisions that you make may not be ultimately what you really wanted. So that's why this is an order. You have to figure out what's holding you back, release that, begin to rewire your mind, and then learn to make very clear, confident decisions without second guessing yourself. So before we move on, Mike, any thoughts or questions there?
Well, you know what? This also applies to actually, running a private practice too.
Mm,
You can't run a clinic if you don't know if you don't have the step one, identifying where you're now and
mm,
what's holding you back and your actual goal in running a private practice. And of course, rewiring your mind, what is it that you really want? And then number three is building a framework, your policies and procedures. And
mm,
same thing when you have an actual, patient. You have to know where your patient is at. Where was your previous level of function, right? Their current level of function, the reason for referral, and then you create the plan of care, the short-term goal and long-term goal, and then you create the intervention. And same thing with this, how you get out of steps to getting unstuck. And what we need to do now, with you people who are watching, you need to create a plan of care for yourself. And
mm.
this is where Javi comes in. Coach Javi or whatever you want to call him, Poppy Javi or Dr. Javi or okay. I think Marissa is the only person who can call him Poppy. So, you know, this is where he comes in. He will create, an evaluation for you, your plan of care, all right? The reason for referral, your plan of care. He'll create you short-term goals, long-term goals, and also he will also create you an intervention. The
Mm,
therapeutic exercise, therapeutic activity, self-care, whatever. Then, of course, after he's done that, identified, then it's your part for you to be able to do, change from burnout to breakthrough. So I think that's where
mm.
you come in, right, Javi?
Yeah, no, that's a perfect segue. So really, I'd like to, ask you a question. If it's okay with you all, I'd like to share an opportunity to help you go even deeper. Right? We've already been going for 42 minutes, and we've barely scratched the surface on this. And I would like for those that are interested in really figuring out, okay, why is it that I haven't been able to have that breakthrough, find that passion of mine, find that career that's waiting for me. And so really, what we've put together is a Rewire Your Mind workshop to help you unlock your potential and achieve consistent growth. So this is really for those who are ready to take control of their mindset and their career. So we're hosting this 5-day Rewire Your Mind workshop. It's about an hour and a half a day for 5 days to help guide you through this transformation. So what you'll learn is how to practically, so you'll learn practical tools to identify and eliminate mental blocks, create clarity and confidently make decisions about your future. And what we're going through is not just theory. We'll actually walk you through the strategies that you can start applying immediately. So basically, the Rewire Your Mind workshop is going to essentially help you with the skills and mindset shifts that you're going to be able to extract that could save you from years of burnout and inaction. We've had professionals walk away from this workshop saying it completely changed how they approach their career and their life. And they're just really excited about the future and what's to come. And so at this Rewire Your Mind workshop, we're going to help you to discover the rapid alignment method so you can begin to work with your unconscious mind instead of against it and finally get the results you've been waiting for. Like we talked about, the steps to get unstuck, we're going to help you identify where you're at and what's holding you back. We're going to help you to rewire your mind so you can attract the career you truly want. And we're going to give you a framework for making decisions without second guessing yourself. So you finally feel confident in what it is that you're doing. These are a few of the people that went through our workshop. Like Paul here, absolutely fantastic experience. I have been carrying a heavy negative burden thrust upon me for decades. Javier has a gift to explain how this happens, but most importantly, how to get rid of the things that do not serve you today or in the future. Get rid of the baggage and move forward full throttle in your life. And then we've got Andrew here, a good friend. I've worked a lot on personal development.
What's up, Andrew?
Andrew Tran, yeah. And got in therapy over the last decade and have changed my life so much. With that being said, there are certain things that none of the above has been able to help me that holds me back. and rooted in experience I didn't realize. And so he goes on to say how this is very different from all that other stuff that he's tried. And so really the goal for you is you'll leave this workshop with a deep understanding of your unconscious mind. You'll learn how to work with it for maximum results and get access to quick and easy tools you can use daily to supercharge your business and your life, right? If you don't have a business, your career. And so really the workshop, it's going to really help you have that breakthrough. You're going to have access to the trainings, the recordings. We will be doing this live actually in the next couple of weeks. And we also have an evergreen version of it so that you can save time. You could actually start going through it right away. So real quick, session 1 is about uncovering the invisible block. And so in this first session, we're going to uncover the hidden mental block that's quietly sabotaging your success and keeping you stuck in the same frustrating patterns. So that's the first thing we're going to show you. Session number 2 is about unlocking your potential. So we're going to help you to discover how your current mindset's holding you back, learn why success isn't about working harder, and how shifting your beliefs can unlock your full potential. We're actually going to show you how to begin to rewire the way that you think so that you see more opportunity in your life and you see things more in a more positive light. And it's going to open up so many doors for you. So that's going to be on session number 2. Session number 3 is about mastering your mind and your emotions. So we're going to help you to discover why unresolved mental and emotional patterns from your past are secretly holding you back and how to break free from those mental and emotional patterns that are coming up for you so you feel like you have this newfound energy and passion for life. Session number 4, how many of you also would like to make some more money, right? Who doesn't, right? And so session number 4, we're going to actually break down the money myth. So the thing that holds a lot of people back when it comes to making money is we have a incorrect representation of what money really is. And when we don't really know what something is, it's really hard to attract it and acquire it. And so we're actually going to show you a different way of looking at what money actually is so you can attract more of that money and abundance into your life. And so in the 4th session, we're going to show you why money isn't the real obstacle and how to actually get more of it by removing these mental blocks. And session number 5, we're going to show you how to take control now. This is going to be a breakdown of a very powerful process in decision making so that when you do go about making decisions in your life, you can feel confident that they are the right decisions. Okay. So that's going to be session number 5 to give you complete control of your career and of your life. So all in all, you're going to get the live Rewire Your Mind for Success workshop. You're going to get the rapid alignment method framework. You're going to get the identify your hidden blocks exercise so we can identify what those blocks are. We're going to help you to master your internal beliefs. So you're going to get that training as well. We're going to provide you with a Wheel of Life assessment, completely free to figure out which area of your life you really need to focus on first. Because here's the thing. One area of your life, when you work on that and supercharge that, can actually have a very positive effect on all the others. So we want to figure out what's the core one that when shifted can have a positive effect on the other ones. For example, let's use career. If you have a better career, you feel more fulfilled, you feel more excited, you have more energy. Doesn't that trickle into your relationships, into your family life, right? Absolutely. A lot of people say, I try to separate the two. Come on. We all know you go home, you talk about work, complain to friends, right? And so it all kind of affects each other, right? Baggage in one area can affect the other. So what is that one area that if we supercharge would make everything else a lot easier? The goal alignment blueprint. So once we've released that, how do we actually set goals that inspire you, that you feel really confident you can hit? And then we're also going to give you audio tracks. So the Unstoppable Confidence Meditation, this is a meditation that you can listen to on a daily basis if you'd like to build that unstoppable confidence. And of course, you'll have private support and accountability group access. So this is all retail value of $1,676. Of course, we're not going to charge that. You are also going to get a Rewire Your Mind workbook. Basically, it's going to give you all the exercises that you can take with you to revisit and really solidify what it is that you're learning. You're going to get a prosperity and abundance audio meditation. It aligns your unconscious for success. You're able to attract opportunities effortlessly, and you're able to listen to this daily, and you will have lifetime access to this audio meditation. You could listen to it 7 minutes long. I listen to it just about every single day. We're going to go ahead and give that to you as a bonus as well. And really important here, how many of you sometimes get anxious about things, deal with some anxiety? Well, anxiety really does not serve us, right? It does not serve us at all. It's really wasting our present energy on a future outcome that is undesirable to us. So how do we reduce it and get rid of it? Well, we have a anxiety release process that allows you to quickly reduce stress. It allows you to shift into a calm and focused state, available whenever you need it. Because when you're in a calm and focused state, don't you make better decisions, right? You feel a lot more clear. You have more confidence in the things that you're doing. So this is going to be a very powerful one for you all to be able to really experience that. And we're going to go ahead and give that to you as a bonus for free as well. The last bit here is the fast action bonus. So for those of you that decide to attend this workshop live with us, we're also going to give you VIP access. So this is a backstage pass. You're going to be able to ask questions. We'll do additional exercises and sessions and meditations during this VIP experience, breath work exercises, private meditation sessions. The really cool thing about this is that once you have the tool, you'll be able to continue to use the tool, right? That's going to be able to change your life on a daily basis. So you'll also get that VIP access fast action bonus. So all in all, retail value of $2,311. Normal price is $297. And because we're here today, and you're here watching this today, and you obviously, you're in your career, you're likely wanting to figure out what's your next move. You're really dedicated to figuring out what's a career path that aligns with you. And because Mike is awesome, I think we can all agree on that. Today, for everything that I just showed you, it's literally only $37. That's it. $37 for this 5-day workshop. You get access to you get lifetime access to all the recordings, so you can continue to rewatch them, continue to work on rewiring your mind. And that's what this is. That's what this is for. So if you're looking to finally overcome burnout, if you've already overcome burnout and you're just looking for more, then this is for you. This is for you. I believe Mike has the link in the description. You can go ahead and click that link. I'll also be dropping this link in the chat, or you can simply go to mindhaven.pro/event-special. Actually, use the one that Mike has. That's the one that you need to use. Not the one that's on the screen. Use the one that Mike has. Yes.
Note.
Yes.
I would like to sponsor probably 2 people in our group. Whoever, if they don't have $37, I would love to sponsor at least 2 people to shoot me a message if you're watching right now, whether in their YouTube or podcast or in our Facebook group, private Facebook group. Send me a message. Hey, Mike, I can't afford this. I'll pay you directly, Javi. I'll send you whatever, and I'll maybe sponsor or scholar 2 people who can, maybe we can change people's lives.
Wow.
So I'm gonna attend to.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing, Mike. That's so you're awesome. You're awesome. Take advantage of that, guys. If you're watching, reach out to Mike immediately.
There you go.
Awesome.
Only 2, so okay. Then
only 2. The first 2.
And if you can afford, ladies and gentlemen, if you can afford, go ahead and join. It's $37 for 5 days. I pay more, in the CEU class. I mean, or even going to a mastermind class. This is literally going to change your life for the better. And if you can afford, go ahead and sponsor one too. You have to learn how to bless other people too, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying if you can afford, that's fine. If you can't, that's fine too. Private message me, then we can watch and learn from Javi for the next 5 days. And then if you can, if you're gonna, my challenge for you, ladies and gentlemen. If you can afford to sponsor one, go ahead, join, and then sponsor another one. Like
Mm.
your friend or your neighbor, or in your group. $37. Come on, I mean, I know people are struggling right now, but for $37 for 5 days, listening to this amazing guy, I think it's gonna be worth it, guys. I mean, it's not
Mm.
even $5 a day. Is it $5 a day? It's not even $5 a day. I don't know.
It's less than
37 divided by
it's
5.
it's less. It's a couple large pizzas.
Yeah, I mean, you think of it, you buy coffee, like, $10
Oh yeah,
coffee along the way to work or something. Invest in yourself. That's the key. All right.
100%, 100%. So yeah, again, Mike, you're awesome. To definitely take advantage of that opportunity. And so, really, what are the next steps? Well, next step is once you click that link, you'll register. You'll see everything that you're getting there on the left hand side. These are workshops that we do host. And so once you register, you're going to get access to a community. You're going to be able to add the trainings to your calendar so you can attend live. Like I mentioned, you will get the evergreen recordings immediately, and then which will be great because then you could listen to it and already have the information and go even deeper into the information once we're live, where you can ask even better questions and get even more out of the workshop. So you'll be able to join us for that. Like I said, you'll get access to that immediately. And then once you're in the community, we'll simply have you introduce yourself to the community, because one of the most important things is really being in a community of like-minded individuals who are working on themselves together to really get to the next level. They say rising tides raise all ships. And so we really want to challenge and push each other to be the best versions of us that we can. So really, that's the workshop. I'm super excited for it. I really hope to see you there. We've had members like Rudy here. I went from feeling like I was going to get thrown off the island at any moment to having a deep sense of confidence and belief in myself that I'd never felt before. Each emotion I released was like a weight lifting off my shoulders. And in an instant, the resistance I'd felt for so long was completely gone. It's no longer like climbing Mount Everest. Every step feels achievable now, with confidence held deep inside and the knowledge that I can handle anything. Super powerful. We've got Brenda here as well. Before the session, I was stuck in fear and reactive mode. It would take me days to shift my mindset. After the session, I had the tools to transform fear into action in minutes. The session didn't just change my career, it improved every area of my life. My relationship with my 14-year-old daughter is now the best it's ever been. And I don't think she'd trust me like she does now if I hadn't done this, right? Super powerful. And so I'm going to go ahead and pause there. There's a lot of things you'll be able to do, like break free from old patterns, stay focused and motivated, make faster, clearer decisions, take bold, confident action, achieve consistent growth, create a career in business and life that you'll love. You'll be able to replace fear and self-doubt with confidence and clarity, overwhelm and indecision with focus, aligned action, emotional baggage with mental freedom and lightness, self-sabotage with consistent progress and success, burnout with balanced growth and renewed energy, and stuck patterns with momentum and long-term motivation. So if that's you, if you're ready for it, go ahead and join us, because it's going to be a heck of a workshop. And I'm going to be very honored to have you there. So last bit here, why now? Well, early bird special for $37, limited time only. Really think about how much being stuck is actually costing you. It's probably a lot more than just $37. Every single day you wait, the longer you stay in your old ways. You can get instant access now, so you can save time. And like I mentioned, you'll get those bonuses and replays available today as well. Okay. So again, start today, only $37. If this is resonating with you, don't wait. If you are interested and maybe you have some questions, you could comment the word mind, M-I-N-D, below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again,
Awesome.
Javi. Appreciate you. And send me, don't worry about the links, ladies and gentlemen. Just go to mindheaven.pro/event. That's special. I mean, I do have that affiliate link, but don't worry about it. But if you need one, you feel like, hey, I want to attend this class, I want to learn more and get out of my comfort zone, get out of this burnout rut. reach out to me, send me a message. I'm gonna just send the money to Javi later or whatever, and then we'll go from there. Javi, thank you very much. Appreciate you, man. Any
Thank you.
last parting wisdom for our group?
No, I think just to the last thing I would say at this point is, you, like I said earlier, anything that you think you are more than that. You have this gift inside of you. You have this unlocked potential. All you have to do is make that decision to take that next step, and it's there waiting for you, right? Don't be locked in by anything that you've been told you are or you aren't in the past, because whatever you want, you can have it. You just have to move forward and just do it.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much, Javi. Appreciate you. I love everything about this, and we have a lot of people who are burnt out in our group. But before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, always remember the word fast. FAST. Letter F. Find people that will bring out the best in you, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Today, I hang out with Javi. You know what? Next week or 2 weeks from now, hang out with Javi too. In this Mind Heaven how would you pronounce that class that he's going to be teaching. Okay. Next letter is letter A. Take action. All this stuff that we're doing is not going to do me good. It's not even going to do Javi good if you don't take action. Take action. Reach out to me if you need sponsorship, or reach out to Javi if you want to sponsor someone else. Imperfect action beats perfect in action, and that's where burnout also comes in. You have your values, like what he was talking about. It's not aligned. It's misaligned. So you gotta put it align it back. Okay. Next letter is letter S. Shoot for the moon. Why? If you keep shooting for the moon, you're gonna miss it, but you're gonna be landing with the stars. Guess what? You're gonna fail, right? But it doesn't matter how many times you've failed or fallen, or how many times your parents told you that you're not going to be successful, or your previous spouse that you're not going to be successful. Guess what? You have the potential. You keep shooting for the moon, but you're going to miss it. You're going to be landing with the stars. And last but not the least is letter T. Teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, just like what Javi's doing, you're going to understand it more. Again, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Be awesome, be great, be excellent. And we'll see you in the next episode of our Alternative Healthcare Career Show. Thank you, Javi.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.